Welcome to another episode of Software Explorations, Concept and Overviews with yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph. In today's episode, we are going to be going over Web 3.0. This was a totally new topic to me that came up on a live stream, and I wanted to investigate it a little bit more. So here we are. So we are at the evolution of Web 3.0, but that means there was a Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and now we are evolving, moving towards Web 3.0. So we're going to investigate that, find out what it is, and see the steps that are being made to it, how it works. So let's get into our presentation. So this is going to be part one of our Web 3.0 presentation, where we are reviewing what it is and how it works, and we'll go from there. So what's our agenda for today? All right, so we're going to go over what's Web 3.0, the key concepts of Web 3.0, the topic of decentralization. We're going to touch on blockchain technology, smart contracts, the key principles and values of Web 3.0, user control, interoperability, the open sourceness of it, and some Web 3.0 applications. All right, so what is Web 3.0? Web3 is a term that refers to a vision for the future of the internet and the evolution of the web. It represents a paradigm shift from the current centralized web, which is currently Web 2.0, to a more decentralized and user-centric web, Web 3. Web 3 is often associated with blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, but it encompasses a broader set of principles and technologies aimed at reshaping how the internet works. So it's not necessarily something that is out, although there's some softwares that are out for it, like the Brave browser. But it's a vision, and it's looking towards the evolution of the internet. All right. So what's the difference between Web 1.0, 2.0, 3.0? All right. Web 1.0 is all about fetching and reading information. Our very basic, typical web pages where you go to a website and you get returned information, data, right? Web 2.0 is all about reading, writing, creating, and interacting with the end user. So, Web 2.0, what we're in now, more interactive, a lot more that you can do. It's more than just typing enter website here and then getting information and you just read about it, right? There's much more that you can do with it. Web 2.0 was famously called the participative social web. Web 3.0 is the third generation of the World Wide Web and is a vision of a decentralized web, which is currently a work in progress. It's all about reading, writing, and owning. So let's look at this diagram, right, to compare Web 2.0 and Web 3.0. So on the Web 2.0 side, you see how you have like one device, whether it's your computer, your phone, your tablet, whatever the case may be, right? It can be your TV, whatever the case, right? And from that one computer, you're connecting to Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok. I'm not sure what that logo is at the moment, and YouTube, right? And then on Web 3.0, it's decentralized, it's anonymous, so your personal data isn't being shifted like that. Like, so from what I'm looking at from the Web 3.0 spider web or diagram, is that it's not a direct one-on-one connection, right? It's pretty much going all over the place. It looks like when you are looking at in those TV shows where the hacker is bouncing off different proxies, it looks like it's not that one-to-one connection like you have in the Web 2.0. So that is the concept or the vision for the Web 3.0, which is being worked on. All right, so let's talk about Web 2.0 and centralization, right? Pretty much what we saw in the previous slide. So Web 2.0 is that it relies on centralized authority. Think governments, big tech, big banks. These central authorities verify your identity, authorize online transactions, control who can publish content and what kind of content, and much more. Like we've heard in recent times, like these big social media companies, they control what they display and what they don't display, depending whether it's politics, it could be sports, whatever the case may be, right? But they kind of control the narrative. So it looks like Web 3.0 is looking to decentralize that and not allow these big, big tech, big banks, these centralized agencies to be controlling the narrative like they have been previously doing. Right. So, what are some of the Web 3.0 key concepts? Right. So we have semantic data, linked data, machine learning and AI, NPL, natural language processing, context awareness, data interoperability, decentralization, enhanced user experiences, privacy and security, IoT integration, open standards and collaboration, evolutionary approach. Right. So each one of these has their own you can go make a full video about each of them, right? Which maybe we will make some short videos where we talk about what each one of those key concepts of Web 3.0 is. But in this video we might touch on a few of them, but we're not going to go in depth into every single one because we just would take like too long to do that. Okay, so let's talk about decentralization then. Decentralization in the context of Web 3.0 involves distributing control and data across a network of nodes or participants rather than relying on a central authority or a server. So if we remember the diagram, how everything is just going across, it's nothing is like there's no single point of access, single point of control. So that's looking to have that data go, across the network of different nodes of so it's like things are bouncing off of each other. There's not that one-to-one connection. Like for right now, let's say if we go to facebook.com, we're going directly from our computer directly to facebook.com, and so it's a direct connection, right? But with decentralization, it's trying to move away from that so that the data can it's bouncing off many things, trying to protect, trying to secure people in a better way, right? So let's look at this picture real quick. What makes Web 3.0 so unique? So, like we mentioned, the semantic web better understand content, better understands content's web rather than focusing on keywords and numeric values. Right? Artificial intelligence, AI. Computers now can understand information like a human being with the ability of natural language processing. So that NPO that we spoke about. Ubiquity. Every device will be connected to the network. Contents can be accessible by various applications. Enhanced connectivity. Web 3.0 uses semantic metadata to provide users better connectivity. Okay, so that's interesting. Peer-to-peer network, a decentralized network that dissolves the need for a centralized authority. So just reading peer-to-peer network, right? I remember like this is from way back in the day when you had applications like what was it? The it was an application like people used to download music and stuff. Kazam, I think it was called. No, I don't remember, but it was something like that, right? And then they had like Napster. Those are like peer to peer applications where you would go and someone would be many people would have like a file, and then you could download that file from them. It was a peer to peer network, right? So 3D graphics utilizing virtual reality. More realistic and natural looking graphics are extensively used. So that's going to be very interesting, right? So that is like that's the things that makes Web 3.0 unique that isn't part of the Web 1.0 or the Web 2.0. Right. So let's touch on blockchain technology. I'm sure many people have heard of it from cryptocurrency, right? But blockchain technology plays a foundational role in the realization of many Web 3.0 principles and applications. It is a fundamental enabler of Web 3.0's vision of a more decentralized, user-centric, and interconnected internet. Right. So, what are the key principles and concepts? The principles and values collectively contribute to the vision of the Web 3.0 as a more intelligent, decentralized, and user-centric web, where data is structured, interconnected, and meaningful, and where individuals have greater control over their digital experience and data. I think that last part is very makes it very appealing, because you having greater control over your own digital experience and data, that puts you more in the driver's seat. Now, the question is the common person, is the average person, capable? Like, do they care about it have greater control? I can see this for like, more security driven people, more technical people, but I just wonder the average person, does this really mean much to them? So let's talk about user control and what the user control in relations to Web 3.0. Okay. User control in Web 3.0 refers to the principle that individuals should have greater ownership and agency over their digital identities, personal data, and online experience. It is a fundamental value that distinguishes Web 3.0 from earlier iterations of the web and aims to address issues related to data privacy, security, and user empowerment. So like in the previous picture that we looked at, there's one computer, like your computer, and now that one is making an individual connection to all the websites that it's trying to access. And that Web 3.0 picture is like you don't even see your one computer, right? You're just part of you're just a node, and everything is bouncing off of each other to try to better protect data privacy, security, and user empowerment. At the same time, though, right? We got to consider what people can use it in malicious intents, right? So that's something that we always have to consider and think about. All right. So what is interoperability? All right. Interoperability in Web 3.0 refers to the ability of different blockchain networks, decentralized applications, which are called DApps, and data sources to seamlessly work together and share information and functionality. It is a fundamental principle that aims to break down the data silos and create a more interconnected and user-centric web. And something that just popped into my mind about this, right? So let's say one node goes down on the Web 3.0, right? I'm assuming that another one would take its place and keep the flow going, and it's not like that one central source of connection and of truth. So that's just my we're gonna look into it more, but that's just what I would expect, just from what I've seen, from how I understand things. So, open source. In the context of Web 3.0, open source refers to a development and collaboration model where the source code of software, protocols, and technologies are made freely available to the public, allowing anyone to view, use, modify, and distribute it. Open source principles are highly relevant to Web 3.0 because they foster transparency, collaboration, and innovation in the development of decentralized and blockchain related technologies. So, this is interesting, right? Because I personally use a lot of open source libraries, a lot of open source tools, but at the same time, I also wonder about the cost of doing all this, and because it sounds great, freely available, happy go lucky, but I'm just wondering how all of that's going to work together. Because at the end of the day, people have to survive, people have to make a living, and the way that I see things, a lot of things always start off with you know the idea of free, but people's time costs money. So I'm just curious to see how this is all going to work out in the long run. Right. So let's talk about Web 3.0 applications. So Web 3.0 applications, often referred to as decentralized applications or DApps, there are a new generation of web applications that leverage blockchain technology and Web 3.0 principles to offer a wide range of services and functionalities. These applications operate on decentralized networks, making them resistant to censorship, more secure, and often more user centric. So yeah, this whole Web 3.0 looks like is taking the power back from the big companies, the big organizations, and putting it back into the hand of the user. And let's take a look at the Web 3.0 economy, right? So we have the blockchain technology, we have the crypto, we have NTFs, we have the metaverse, we have the smart contracts that we mentioned earlier. It looks like that's decentralized finance, with the way that you bank, and decentralized storage. So, in conclusion, in part one today, we covered what Web3 is, the key concepts of Web 3.0, the decentralization aspects of it, how blockchain, or not how blockchain technology works, but how it relates to Web 3.0, the smart contracts, the key principles and values, the user control, putting the power back into the hand of the user, the interoperability, the open sourceness of it, the applications being used for Web 3.0 are primarily open source software, and some of the web applications referred to as DApps, decentralized applications for Web 3.0. So that's part one. We are going to cover the rest of this in part two because it's a huge topic, and there are everything that we mentioned today, it has its subtopics as well. So maybe that'll be something that we can carry on as well, where we can go dive a little bit deeper into each of them. But this was the general overview, and just in the general overview, right? This is just part one. We're gonna have a part two, definitely. That is our presentation for today, part one of the Web 3.0, investigation, trying to find out a little bit more what it is. This was totally new to me. I don't really dive much into this part of the technology. I'm more of the working on the software, testing that out, finding new ways to develop things like that. But this was very eye opening for me, learning more about Web 3.0. And the only reason that this came about was it was a question in the Q&A show, right? Asking about Web 3.0, and I said I am not too familiar about it. I did a quick look up on it and saw what it was about, and I said, all right, let me learn it together with you. Let's find out about it, if you have more information, please feel free to put a comment in the video, because I'm always learning. I'm always, you've seen in the videos, a lot of times we're just trying to figure things out, especially on the live streams. We're just, tinkering around and dabbling. And, I love to learn new things. And this was very eye opening, as I said. And we're gonna do a part two of it, and then maybe we'll break down each of those little points. Maybe make some shorter videos where we talk about each of those little points and see what that's all about. Get more familiar, because if this is what's coming, we have to be ready. We can't be playing catch up. We always have to be ready and get a better understanding. Know how to adjust. Know how to adapt. Know how to evolve, because the world keeps moving forward and it's not going to wait for you. So you have to be up to date. Okay. So that is our presentation for today. Part one of the Web 3.0 software exploration concept overviews. If you like the video, right? If you found this informative, subscribe to the channel, because there's tons and tons of more content coming out. We're always doing software explorations. We have our live shows where we do Q&As, where we actually do like coding and trying to figure things out. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live or drop a new video, right? Tons of content being dropped every day. Like the video, share the video with somebody who will find it useful. Leave me a comment, right? Interact with me in the chats of the live shows, right? And if you haven't done so yet, check out the Patreon so you can see all the information that I'm dropping in there that is exclusive, right? Which my goal is to do as best as I can to put you in a better position to land the job that you want. I provide tips, I provide strategies, all that good stuff inside the Patreon, right? As well as the opportunity to get one-on-one coaching calls and, better help you strategize to reach your goals. Okay. So check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. The link is in the description, right? So check it out and, get in contact with me, and we'll work together to, make a new plan, pave the path forward, right? We're always engineered to win here. Okay. So on that note, thank you for watching the video. And until next time, this is Tech Coach Ralph signing off.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.